A lot of times if you're a new jazz improviser and you play a melodic instrument, so not the drums, they'll start you out playing this song called So What from Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. And this is kind of the quintessential modal jazz piece. And it just has 2 chords in the whole thing. So it's like 16 bars of D minor 7, and then the bridge goes up a half step to E flat minor 7, and 8 bars of that, and then back down to D minor 7. So it's like 24 bars in total over just 1 chord. And so when you're just learning, you'll start out on that because you don't have to navigate these complex chord changes. You can just kind of learn 2 scales, right? A scale that would fit the D minor 7 chord, and then a scale that would fit the E flat minor 7 chord. And with those 2 scales alone, you can start to improvise. So it's a lot easier to get started. And so you'll start there, and then over time you'll graduate to pieces that have faster moving chord changes. And that's more challenging, right? But once you master playing over complex chord progressions, it's almost like you go back full circle to trying to play on So What. And now that's really hard because there's not like a built-in framework that's going to make what you play interesting. So it's like, how do you still remain interesting when you have to stick to the same kind of set of notes? And you don't actually, that's an oversimplification because you can step outside that set of notes and create dissonance and tension and then go back to it. And there's a lot of different ways that you can add interest. But it's kind of this full circle thing where what used to be the easiest thing, now after learning the more complicated stuff, going back to it actually seems challenging. And I think freestyling is like that in some ways, where when I first started, I would never be able to just rap about random words that are being thrown to me. That was way too challenging. So I just had to free flow and rap about whatever came into my mind. And that was easier. I was at least able to do that. And then gradually I was like, man, I really wish I could have somebody throw me a word and rhyme about it. And it's like, oh, I can kind of do it with one word as long as it's a simple word. And then eventually it's like, wow, now I can really get in a flow state with this while they're throwing me words, you know? And then to the point where I'm at now, where it's like, that's the main offering is people give me complicated words and I try to hold 14 of them in my brain and navigate my way through it. Now that's the norm. And now, in a similar way to what I just explained from the jazz world, coming back to where it started, what used to be the easiest is now challenging. Because when people are not throwing me words, how do I remain interesting? How do I not sound overly repetitive by just falling back on the same kind of filler phrases that I use every time? There's no words, which are kind of like the chord changes of what I do, to pull me through and guarantee that there's these novel, exciting moments. So I have to create it all from scratch.